Hi everybody, I hope you guys are doing great today. This is going to be a February read for the whole month, okay? And I am going to break it out into weeks as we go along. And for each week, I'm going to get into the specifics of the minutia kind of transits, but right now I want to just talk about the largest things that are happening in the sky, and then I'm going to get into the specifics for each sign. So each of the signs are going to have this part of the video front loaded, and I'm going to timestamp below. So if you're not interested in listening to the astrology, that's totally fine. Just check out the description box and just fast forward to whatever time is indicated that the tarot is going to start being pulled. Okay, we do have a lot of things going on this month though worth talking about. So let's start with February 3rd. Mercury is entering into Pisces. So it's going to be there from the 3rd until the 4th of March. And when Mercury is in Pisces, our thinking processes are more visual, more imaginative, more intuitive. We are especially in tune to our emotions, which ends up inflecting and coloring both our thoughts and the way we communicate. So, we express ourselves with imagery and we make decisions very intuitively. Our intuition is going to be really turned up. So we're definitely going to feel more of an affinity to things that are consciousness raising, during that transit. Then on the 7th, we have Venus entering Aries. So Venus is going to be in Aries from the 7th all the way to March 4th as well. And in Aries, love is very spontaneous and direct. Like the chase is very exciting to us under this influence. Just think about Aries. Think about Venus, right? With this thing that we love, our connection with money, right? And Aries, which is the Emperor energy, right? Which is about, I want to just get it done now, So we're both very it's an exciting energy because we're both bold and motivated, but a little impatient when it comes to areas having to do with relationships, intimate relationships, any sort of matters of the heart. The funny thing with this energy though is, guys, like with Aries energy underneath this, we don't look back with Aries energy. We're not interested in saying sorry or dwelling on the past. It's like a brand new day. What's done is done. The toothpaste is out of the tube, as I always say, right? It's time to make things work right now and not really focus on everything that happened in the past. Because Aries is known for love of the chase, right? And the conquest. But Aries love can be very long-standing nonetheless, as long as it remains pretty fresh and exciting, right? But also in this energy, remember, Aries is very blunt. Like there's no sugarcoating with Aries, which is actually what most of us love about Aries. The thing is, this can sting. Now, we could be this way to other people can be this way to us, but rarely is this Aries energy mean or petty or vindictive. It's not like that. It's more about just saying it like it is important in this energy, because it's a very Aries-driven energy. Desires are strong and expressed very spontaneously, enthusiastically, and very directly, because Aries prefer to get right to the point. They prefer to seduce rather than to be seduced, to chase rather than be chased. It's very kind of like up front and center, and we're all going to kind of be feeling it, very strongly. Now, those of us who were tuned in, we're going to be able to recognize that energy, and we can take opportunity with it, because it's all kind of good, really exciting. Then on February 9th, we have the full moon in Leo. So this marks the beginning of a new cycle. Okay, the rule of the moon is the sun. So the phase of the moon is occurring at 20 degrees and 0 minutes of Leo, affecting people born with personal planets and points at approximately like 15, 16 to 24, 25 degrees of the fixed sign. So that would be Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, the most significantly. We're all going to be feeling it, but especially those placements. And here, in this energy, you're going to feel safe in moments when you feel like you can impress others and get some kind of praise and some sort of admiration, some sort of attention. But yet when you get into the spotlight, or you're getting that attention that you swore you wanted, You might find yourself at a loss for words or feeling uncomfortable. So just be careful and clear with yourself about what you really actually even want right now from a person or a situation. Because this can be a time we should all be admitting to any fears of criticism and really looking at our ability or inability to accept criticism right now. It's very, very important to accept feedback during this energy, to use it for improvement right now, right? In whatever area of life that's impacting you in. Now, for many of us, this full moon will peak on a Sunday too, emphasizing the role of soul in the horoscope. And while the Aquarian sun, right, because it's what it is, isn't making any major aspects to other planets besides Mars, his ruler, is aligned with the nodal axis and Mercury. Okay, so we have this Aquarius sun, which is the only air sign present, but there's plenty of fire with the moon, Mars, and Venus all in this warm element. But it can end up feeling kind of restrictive or suffocating, since fire needs air to burn brightly, right? But it also has a habit of consuming all the oxygen. You follow? So it's uncomfortable and it's like a disjointed energy. So you may just feel like a little off, right, during this time. Just like a little off, like a little left of center, a little restricted, where you're starting to feel this restlessness because you're starting to feel this change. And guys, when I said that January was like, step one, round one, this is step two, round two. We are really in a very definitive way moving forward. So there's this restlessness that's going to be really starting to poke at us, okay? Now on the 16th of February, we have Mars entering Capricorn. And this is Mars is in Capricorn from the 16th to the 30th of March. And Mars in Cap is debilitated. It's very deliberate energy here. We consider the future and the consequences before taking action during this cycle. So our energy is reliable and it's very faithful. We're very slow to anger, but it can be really, really cold if we're frustrated, if we're feeling frustrated, where we kind of go into like shutdown mode. Because the shadow side of this energy, like the shadow side of Mars in Capricorn, is being very rigid, very single-minded, very focus in a very narrow way. So it's just something that we want to keep in mind. And then on the 16th, we have Mercury turning retrograde in Pisces. Okay, here we go again, guys. But you know what? We can't sweat Mercury going retrograde. It's literally retrograde half our life. And it's like that for a reason. And it's not a big deal. It's really not. So for those of you who aren't familiar with Mercury retrograde, it's a time of everything. Revisiting things that you started in the past, renewing things, anything, okay? What you don't want to do, if you can help it, is to start anything brand spanking new. Like, not the best energy to start a brand new relationship, because typically the energy does not support like a strong foundation being built. Same thing with the job or whatever. But you know what? Listen, the truth of the matter is, if we really look at what we're doing, for example, if you got a job, you've been waiting for this job and it comes in during Mercury retrograde, don't be crazy. Take the job. Just make sure you read the fine print, because what can end up happening is it ends up not rolling out initially the way you were first told or you first thought. Same thing with a relationship. Things end up not being how they first presented themselves, okay? But we can't stop life, okay? But this is a very different kind of Mercury retrograde, I think, in Pisces. It's going retrograde at 12 degrees of Pisces. So it's going to be retrograde from February 16th to March 9th at 28 degrees Aquarius. But the shadow begins February 2nd and ends March 29th. So it's kind of like a long transit, really, if you think about it. And really here in Pisces and Aquarius, the water signs are emotional and sentimental, and the Pisces and Aquarius natives are also very full of imagination right now, like big time. Confusion, lots of emotions rising up to the top, right? Everybody's going to be up in their feels, because think about Mercury doesn't actually go backwards. It sort of just stops this movement, right? So it's like hanging there in Pisces, which is the most mature water sign, right? It's the most mature out of all the water signs. It's very deep, ruled by who? Ruled by Neptune. I mean, it's just like this deep, earthy, dreamy energy. So there's going to be a lot of feelings going on here. And there is difficult compatibility between Mercury and Pisces, but even more challenging with the retrograde motion of Mercury in Aquarius. Is with Mercury retrograde in the water signs, we can expect some revisions of the unconscious emotional patterns of thinking that we've been holding. Like, what makes you feel secure? What makes you feel insecure? Where do your allegiances lie? And when do you tend to react out of habit without thinking? Mercury retrograde in Pisces or Aquarius will make you aware of these things, allowing you to correct them, to do some really deep psychological healing, which is really good, but you just need to be prepared to be up in your fields, right? Because then on the 18th, we have the sun entering Pisces. And this is going to be from the 18th of February to March 19th. And with the sun in Pisces, we're guided by very altruistic feelings. We're less motivated to do than we are to feel and to imagine and dream. And, you know, it's kind of like that Que Sera Sera song, you know, it's like whatever will be, like whatevs, you know. We're guided by our sense of like these universal connections. Pisces rules empathy and selfless love and devotion and wisdom. Its shadow side rules self-pity and a feeling of being victimized by life and elusiveness and passivity. So we want to just make sure that we're really functioning in our highest vibration, because if you are by any chance, because everybody's in a different place in their life, if you're feeling these things, just really just understand it's just that sun placement, right? In Pisces, it's going to pass, but try to figure out a way of pivoting yourself out of that. Okay, now we do have the Jupiter sextiling Neptune on the 20th. Jupiter at 17 degrees, Capricorn 45 forms a sextile to Neptune at 17 degrees, Pisces 45. You know, I like this. This is the first set of 3 that we're going to have of this Jupiter sextile Neptune. So this is the first one, right? And then the second one's going to be in July, on the 27th of July. And the third is going to be in October 12th. So with this longer term aspect, idealistic and dreamy goals or impulses end up surfacing now, okay? They come up to the surface now. Making connections with others from different backgrounds or who just... I mean, I think is what ends up really showing up more than anything is people who live differently from us can show up in our life right now. And what ends up happening is we widen our minds through unusual or different experiences that we have through other people, and that could just be part of our story during this time. You know, it's like practical things take a back seat during this energy. And we're feeling very generous and very compassionate. Our faith is boosted. So I think this is really, really positive. We're definitely more inclined to make personal sacrifices for what we believe to be the higher good for those people or situation in our lives. So that is a really beautiful aspect that's so nice to have as support as we go into this new moon on February 23rd. Because the new moon in Pisces on the 23rd is very special, yet it could feel like a foggy one. With Pisces playing host to both Neptune, right, the moon's ruler, and Mercury retrograde, the traditional ruler of Pisces is Jupiter, for those of you who aren't sure. And some of you guys actually mentioned that I was incorrect in saying that that Neptune rules Pisces, and you know, no, Neptune does rule Pisces now. Jupiter there's been a lot of changes in astrology. That's why I say astrology is very similar to religion in certain ways, right? Because we have different systems, different beliefs, but we're all kind of going for the same thing, right? Pisces, so the traditional ruler of Pisces is Jupiter. So we do still kind of consider that in there when we're thinking about things. Now 18 degrees Capricorn aligned with the modern ruler Neptune at 17 degrees, but it's going to be squaring to Venus at 18 degrees of Aries. Okay, so remember that Venus governs our relationships, finances, confidence, things we love to do for pleasure. So these things could feel challenging with this square at the new moon. And yet, despite the tension in the stars, this is still a sweetly aspected and productive new moon to work with, because Mars has left Sagittarius and now joins the South Node in Capricorn, the last in a long line of planets to connect with this karmic point of shifts and goodbyes. So this indicates some final pushes, guys, removals and eradications that are underway. It's a wonderful detox energy of letting go of that dead wood that I've been talking about. It's all being set in motion here, right? So this is all about stage 2. You know, this is good. This is good. And Mars perfectly aligns with this new moon, as well as the nodal axis in Uranus too. So this is all about synchronicity right now in very easy formation, allowing us to invoke the change that we've all been working on with less pain. It's just not going to be as difficult as it's been to release things from our lives. Okay, and that's just something that we're all just generally going to be going through. Okay, and as I go through each week with each of the signs, I'm going to be getting more specific with house placements and whatnot. But right now, I'm just going to go right into pulling for your sign, just the tarot messages for the month of February 2020. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you on the other side. Hi, Virgo. Thanks for sticking in with me here. Let's get right into your reading. Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for February 2020. Guys, these are going to be general messages. Try not to make them fit if they don't. Please, please, please don't do that. And definitely check your rising sign, at least your rising sign. Moon sign and Venus also for additional messages, but definitely that rising. It's arguably more important than the sun placement when it comes to how things play out in the real world, right? All right, so what does Virgo need to know? Any sort of advice? Anything Virgo needs to know for February of 2020? Messages. Listen to me. Relax the hold of darkness and be a cause. Oh, I like this for you. I mean, especially because you have all these fifth house energies happening this year, which is about your house of fun and really doing things that speak to your heart, because this is about you really wanting to level up your reality. And this is beautiful. You're feeling very courageous to do this too, but you really are being invited in this energy into a new reality where things happen quickly and according to just bold and really awesome optimism. You know, this is a reality not only of potential, but of manifestation of like a great big cosmic absolutely yes. So I do like this. I feel like some of you have something on your mind that you're toying with, that you're tickling the idea of getting involved in. This could be a new job, a new hobby, getting involved in that relationship with that person. But it's something is holding you back though, and you have to leave behind that dark, weighty grip of hesitation or procrastination, second guessing, and the belief that you have to do everything right straight out of the gate and that it's got to be perfect and you have to do everything on your own. You might feel very vulnerable and a little scared right now, you know, but guys, I mean, you can't let anything hold you back here. That sleep-inducing paralysis of playing it safe or taking too long and placing lesser priorities above what it is that you really want for yourself. And you know, don't feel afraid that once you start on that trajectory that you're going to get lost and you know, how you're going to hold yourself back. You don't need to worry about that because life is wild, but it's also really wise. So it's a force of like this startling raw awakening in you right now. And I really like it. And just remember that, you know, this is a beautiful cycle in your life that you're a part of, not apart from a process here. So this is really, really great. Just let go of the idea that anything needs to be perfect. Virgo, you guys are so critical, especially of yourselves. I mean, first and foremost, people always say, you know, Virgos are great, they're great workers, they're very loving, they're very critical. Well, you guys are very critical of yourselves. You don't need any help. But this energy is pushing you to relax the reins a little bit and allow just some fresh air to be breathed into something and just detach from any darkness that would end up saying that it's not enough or you're not enough or it's got to be the best thing ever, whatever that even means, in order to have a solid place in your life or a place in the world. You know, whatever it is, it might work out, it might not work out, but this is about definitely taking the chance and being courageous with whatever's on your heart right now. So this is like, you know, I'm like, where are my pom-poms? I feel like the Virgo cheerleader right now. Absolutely. What are you thinking about, Virgo? Let it roll. Let it ride. Really nurture it. You know, really nurture it. And these are general messages, so this could apply to any part of your life. This could be that person that you're really wanting to ask out, or that person you've been really wanting to connect with, but you have a very specific list of why it'll never work. Meanwhile, they're still in your energy fields and you can't stop thinking about them, right? Or it could be that new career step that you've been thinking about and you're just like, oh, I don't know, I don't think I could do it, you know? Really looking at that. You know, maybe it's some sort of hobby that you want to get into. Like, oh, you know what? I kind of like the idea of skydiving, but I've been too chicken up till now. I don't know. It's really bothering me, though, that I never did this. Anything like that. So we're going to pull the cards. Definitely the end of a cycle. Yeah, you guys are being pushed to really stretch your reality for sure. I mean, and we're only 3 cards in. So let's pull all the cards and then we're going to talk. Okay, so in the past, I have here 2 of Wands reverse energy. 2 of Wands. This is a Mars and Aries energy. So in reverse. So this is you really not being sure what path you needed to go on. I mean, Mars is a fighter planet and Aries is about it's the emperor. So it's trying to get front and center with what do you feel passionate about and where do you want to set your next foot on this next cycle in your life. You know, and you just not feeling like whatever you were in at that time. Now, this could be having to do with right now while you're watching this, because this is a February read. So it could be a recent past or whatever's in your energy field. It could even be from last year, but you're coming from this space of feeling unmotivated, that there was and if it's not only motivation, it could be delay. Because Wands reverse is also delay. But it's this inability to get going on this next path, right? Whatever it is. And I feel like you just kind of lost your gumption to like step forward, you know, on this path in the way that it was. Because you just couldn't see it really fulfilling you in the way that you really needed, Virgo. And that ended up leading to an end of a cycle. It's 10 of Swords. Right? The 10 of Swords is a Mercury in you. This is a Mercury in Virgo. So Mercury is the planet of communication. And in the month of February, Mercury is going to be retrograde in the sign of Pisces. And it's in you, Virgo. So to have this retrograde energy happening in Pisces, but in you through the energy of the card, tells me that you are going back deep down and very deep inside of yourself, getting really honest with what it is that you really want to feel connected and what it is that you need, and recognizing that whatever you've been in, it's been one sword at a time over time, and you just don't feel the connection anymore. And you're communicating this with yourself more than anybody else. You are communicating this with yourself, and you're recognizing that this cycle is just not working. Absolutely not. And then we have the 5 of Swords in reverse crossing you. So 5 is a sword. 5 is a conflict number. Okay, and swords are words, right? So this is Venus in Aquarius in reverse. So this is everything that you love that speaks to your heart space. Again, that would be those 5th house energies that I've been talking about for the past bunch of videos that you guys are going to be really having, you know, revamped this year, right? Excuse me. But it is definitely this it's Venus in Aquarius. And Venus in Aquarius is everything that's in your love space. It's also your connection to money. Venus is also money. And Aquarius is ruled by Neptune, which is all about doing things differently, out of the box, different than what it is right now, right? Things being different than they are right now. And things being different than they were initially presented. So this is the kind of conflict where you end up having an argument about, you know, how things rolled out differently than you guys first agreed to. So this could be you with a boss, you with colleagues, you with a friend, a family member, and certainly an intimate relationship where, yeah, this isn't what we agreed to initially, and them saying, what are you, crazy? We never agreed to that. That's not what happened. You're crazy. And, and this fighting over perspective and this fighting over what's true, what's real, what's untrue, what's unreal type of argument. But at the end of the day, you just realizing that it just was not really, it was just different than what it was initially presented as, and it's not speaking to you anymore. And you're reaching the end of the line here, and what's crowning you is the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, and this just indicates you really not being in touch here. This is a Mercury in Virgo. This is, again, Mercury in you, another communication in you energy, Virgo, in the reverse. And you really not being in touch with what it is that you really want. How do you really want to make money? If you know you're really not 100% happy, and that's not to say, guys, it's illogical to think that we wake up every day and we're absolutely loving every minute of our job every day. I mean, that's illogical. That's just not the part of the human condition. But there is such a thing as feeling like absolutely that we're on the right path. And we're in the right area, and we're doing the right thing for our money, and we're in the right relationship, and we're feeling tuned in and connected, and we're feeling supported, and we're happy, generally speaking, with the communication and the intimacy and the way we're doing connection. And this is telling me that you're having a really hard time accessing that right here, Virgo. Because you're communicating with yourself, and you're just like, the only thing I do know is that I'm not feeling it in this, but you're not really 100% clear on what your wish fulfillment is. But you do know, this is the Nine of Pentacles. It's all about wish fulfillment. And you just know that this is not it. This is a Venus in you. I mean, you are all over your own tarot reading here. It's incredible. This is Venus in you. Nine of Pentacles. Yeah. Unbelievable. I mean, this is just really trying to tap into that heart space, really looking at what it is that you want for money, what it is that you want, not from money, but what are you willing to do for money? And what is it that you can do for money that speaks to your heart space, that you feel really, really good about doing? What is it about relationships that you really need in your life that you feel like it's going to level you up? Where's a piece missing? I mean, it's one thing to have the end of a cycle. Okay, fine. But then if you're going to move forward, what is it that you're moving forward with? In other words, what have you identified that missed the mark, that failed you? Or what did you fail? And I hate to say fail is such a negative term, but you know what I mean. It's where was this thing missing? What about it is the issue? And this is you really ruminating very front and center here with this whole center line of energies about, okay, a cycle's over. I have to recognize that it's not what I initially thought it was when I first ventured onto this path. And so fine, that cycle is over. But now what does that mean for me moving forward? And I feel like you guys know exactly what you need to do to bring about your wish fulfillment. And I feel like that's why you got this crowning energy. Because it's about really breaking down any sort of fear that you might have. We have the Four of Swords energy as you right now, and I like this for you as you right now in this energy in February, because this is about forward movement. You're moving forward, and you're moving forward with lessons learned from the past, and you're trying to figure out a new path that you can get on with those lessons that you've learned while you leave the junk that you don't need behind. Right? So there's an honoring to the past. There's an honoring to everything that you've been through, but there's also recognition that you don't need to take everything with you from the past. And, really recognizing where you might have gotten in your own way. Again, going back to the Oracle. Where you might have been holding back because of vulnerability, fear, whatever it is. The need to be perfect, the need to get it right. Maybe you're sick of trying and you're sick of not hitting the mark. And that can become quite discouraging naturally. So yeah, we have the King of Wands as the external influence to you. This is external. So this is not you. So this is a Cancer and Leo energy. So some of you might be having your, whether this is work, an intimate relationship, friendship, family situation, an external Cancer or Leo being on the scene. Now, the King of Wands is a very fiery, very passionate kind of energy, guys. Because if you think about what Cancer and Leo mean together, Cancer is about home and love and the need for security, but Leo is also about being front and center and fiery. So it's having this deep passion for something that really speaks to you. And I feel like this could be, if you're not dealing with a person and we recognize this as a situation, you recognizing this thing, Virgo, you recognizing this thing that you just really want to tap into. You feel super passionate about it, and it's something that you're not really entrenched in right now. So this can be a very passionate person that you want to really engage with, that you really want to, connect with. This could be a new career opportunity. This could be a new idea, as far as any kind of new idea at all that just, makes you feel pumped and really excited to start something new. A new friendship that you've come across, right? That you've had the opportunity to start. Absolutely. But now in your fear position, you're afraid of success. Yeah. I mean, Virgo, this is such a Virgo fear, Yeah, because you guys are really, you like to do things right. I don't blame you. Yeah. You really, but you're in this energy because you guys are ruled by Mercury and you so this is a strong retrograde for you, and it's you getting front and center with what your dreams are, and you're going to be poked at by your dreams, by your these desires, heavy poking, and you're just going to be like, I don't know, what if I do that and I fail? What if I don't? Don't worry about that so much. That's a mental energy, so you don't have to worry about that. That's not going to be an external disrespect coming in, because if you're because this is the card of respect and victory, and if it's your fear, then you fear not getting the respect, you're fearing not being successful. And I just get this as being just a very mental space for you guys being in as you went to this Three of Wands energy. As you went to the Three of Wands energy, I mean, the Three of Wands, this is great. This is Sun in Aries. This is just like new. A new beginning in your leadership vibe, Virgo. Because Aries is the Emperor. Emperor is all about that leadership, transactional. They are the leaders of the zodiac. They are also the first sign. So there is a new beginning. This is a new path. You have the whole world right in front of you. But what I get here also with this energy is there's a turning of your back to the way you've been up to this point. Not 100%, but you're turning your back on a cycle with a job, with a relationship. You're turning your back on a set of fears and like analysis paralysis vibes that you've been experiencing, and you're just ready to venture out. And the near future, is we have the wheel of, what is it called in this one? It's called the Wheel of the Year. It's the Wheel of Fortune. Now, this is a Jupiter energy. Jupiter is all about luck and expansion, and in the reverse, it's still positive. It just means that something is in your way from turning this upright, and you need to figure out what it is. Now, this can be a person, a situation, or your own fears and your own vulnerabilities. Now, a lot of times what ends up happening with this energy, though, in the outcome, especially in the future, rather, with such a positive outcome, a lot of times it's, all right, you've identified what it is that you want, right? You're ending, for example, a relationship. Let's say it's a marriage, and you know it's for the best, and it is ending. And you have your ducks in a row as far as moving forward, but you can't quite pull the trigger just yet because of the kids, because of health insurance, because of money, whatever it is, but you're still very much focusing your sight on that. It could be you not being able to leave a job right this second in February, but you setting yourself up to evolve into something. So the Wheel of Fortune can be reversed because you need to plan things out and work things through, because there's something in the way of you getting access to that Wheel of Fortune energy. And because it's ruled by Jupiter, even though it's like a faded kind of thing, it really is typically very positive because it's a Jupiter energy. So, I do like that. And things rolling out for you in a positive way, thereafter. So you just have to figure out what it is that's in your way. This is a general message, so it's going to be different for each of you. Again, it could be a person, it could just be finances. It can be just not being able to pull the trigger on this new path, but you being very, very excited about it. So that is what I have for that. And let's get into the love portion for those of you open to love. The Celtic Cross spread does not have to be the same energy as the love reading at all. That could have been total career, hobby, anything else. And this could be love. Okay, so it depends on how you're resonating. Could have also been a family situation or a friendship situation. Okay. Let's pull a few of these. Oop, I don't want it to come out. Let's get 2 more. Be supportive. Make a genuine effort to show you care. Okay. Miracles and blessings. Everything has its gifts. Has its gift. And then practice compassion. See things from a fresh perspective. Nice. Be supportive. Be compassionate. And understand that there are miracles and blessings in this. Okay. So we say oracles are very general, so let's pull a few hard oracles, and then we'll pull some Island Time Wellness. Again, I think I said it before, but I'm going to be doing a more extensive love read for Valentine's Day, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but let's see what we get. Life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, we resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. Go with the flow, you will be surprised with where it leads. A message for you. I'm thinking of you this very moment. Your love fills me with light. I love you. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. So I am getting a feeling like there might be some, either you guys are in a weird, if you're resonating with this, you know what, actually this could really be for anybody. If you guys are together in a relationship, you just might be in like a kind of a weird cycle. We have to remember that being supportive and compassionate is very important, and that everything happens for a reason. But this could also, well, let's see what these guys say. Heart with a key, the butterfly, phoenix. The butterfly and the phoenix, Virgo, like, really? That's lovely. All right, heart with a key. Welcome, love. Open your heart. Getting together. Perfect. Very positive. The butterfly. Relationship evolving into the next phase. Healing the inner child and growth. Lovely. The phoenix. New phase. Rekindling, renew, transformation, growth, changed mind. All right, guys. So I have to tell you that this is for anyone who, if you're resonating with this, certainly you've been in a very long-term relationship and that you just might be coming out of the downward cycle of an ebb and flow sort of situation within the relationship where things have been a little wonky. Maybe you've been super busy with work, the kids have been getting in the way, like, you know what I mean? Or just life, life, just super busy, and you haven't been connecting that great. And this indicates definitely like a reconnection and a leveling up of the relationship. Now, for those of you who, excuse me, are not connected right now in the 3D where you've been, no contact and you've been apart, this does definitely, feel to me like you guys are going to be reconnecting during this Mercury retrograde around Valentine's Day. And you're going to be able to rekindle and transform things. So beautiful, beautiful energies. I really like it. Yeah. Okay, Virgo, that is what I have for you right now. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.